Hey friends, I forgot to put up a post and everything about the live today because I'm behind. And not that I'm being lazy with my content. Oh my God, you can totally see the mountain of laundry that I have here. Not that I'm being lazy with my content, but I don't know, friends. I just haven't been as on it, if you know what I mean. I feel like I need to move all of the stuff off my bed because I just did laundry. So it's like all just right there. Hold on. Did not think this through. Or we're just going to turn a little bit. We're just going to turn a little bit. So that's the background instead. Hey friends, welcome. Drop in the chat your name, where you're from. This is going to be like a free-for-all today because I did not come with anything prepared, but I like to chat. Hold on. Oops. Oh my God. The chaos. Everything's fallen. All right, friends, what shall we talk about today? Ooh, from Hawaii. Hello, hello. And I'm like, should I plug this in? I have been really slacking on this podcast. I feel like I really should be recording with this mic for the actual podcast. So let me just set that up real quick because I feel like if I don't, I'm going to be mad at myself. Hold on 1 second. Oh no. Gosh. Oh no! I just stepped in the water that I spilled. This is just pardon the chaos. Pardon the chaos. Okay. Oh, let's see. Ooh, you're thinking about moving out of the country? Where are you thinking about moving to? And let me just turn this on. Vietnam. Wow, that's a move, friend. Episode. Podcast live. Oops. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Cool. Okay. Sorry, everything's a little crazy, but it's cool. It's cool. Hey, friends, and welcome to That's Real Live. I'm your host, Tiff, and this podcast is all about creating the life you want and not the one you were told to live. And the structure of these live streams is you guys can basically ask me anything, I will answer to the best of my ability. But it's just supposed to be just like a fun chat where we talk about whatever's going on in our lives, whatever we're feeling, thinking about, have questions about. I'm happy to share what's been on my mind lately. I didn't usually for these lives I'll have like a topic that I kick off the live with, but I've just been flowing lately. I don't really have a topic per se, but here to answer your questions and chit chat because y'all know I love to talk. Let's see. Question from the chat. I think it means how many languages do I speak? And super fluently, one. Well, no. I could say I speak two languages, English and French, although my French does need some work. So, but I can understand and I can speak a bit and I can get around. Just the other day, I was getting my hair done and they were speaking in, it was French combined with another language. I don't know what other language it was, but it was French combined with another language. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can understand what they're saying. So, those would be my two. Amber asks, is it hard to date Frenchmen, especially the African ones? Are there certain areas to go to? Ooh, friend. Okay, we gonna get into it. Listen. Okay, where do we start? I feel like I'm just gonna say it. I'm like trying to figure out how I want to say this. Okay. I will say when it comes to dating French men, it is a little bit different in Paris, at least from my experience. At least from my experience. So, from my personal experience, and I'm not generalizing, I'm not saying this is how all French men are or anything like that. We're going to get to the Africans in a second. But I will say, in my experience, actually, French and African men in Paris tend to move a bit faster than how we move in the United States. At least that's been my experience. And again, I'm not saying all people move this way because I feel like it is situational. I feel like everyone is different, but from what I've experienced, they move a lot differently. So, for example, I did notice when dating in Paris, men were quicker to want to get into a relationship or things just moved a little bit quicker. Whereas, for example, in the United States, usually there's at least a month or two of a talking phase where you feel like you're kind of just starting to get to know the person and figuring out if you like them, if they like you, things like that. I feel like in Paris, I will never forget. Oh, this is a story for you guys. I will never forget. I went on a date with this guy, African guy, he's from Senegal, and it was what was our first date? I can't even remember what our first date was. But I remember going on like an initial date with him and I'm like, okay, whatever, he's cool. I was in school at the time, so I was really busy. So there was about a month in between our first and second dates. And I just remember for our second date, we went to a restaurant. We must have went to a restaurant on our first date too. Oh no, I think maybe our first date we went to like a speakeasy and got drinks, but I don't never really drank. But I remember I think it must have been like a speakeasy bar, and our second was a dinner date. So we're sitting down having dinner, and it's not like throughout the month where we didn't see each other that we were seeing each other, that we were talking a lot. Like, I think we kind of only really talked on that first date. And then I don't really remember us texting that much. And then I finally had time a month later. And I remember on our second date, he was like, "Oh, where do you see this going? I really like you." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he was kind of like, "Oh, I want to be together." And I was just like, "Whoa, like this is our second date." And that's just not something that I was used to, but it's how he moved. And even after talking to a few French friends and whatnot, what they said was pretty similar in terms of just people are quicker to get into a relationship, but I also feel like they don't take it, I don't want to say they don't take it seriously. But for instance, I feel like in the United States, when we're dating someone, when we decide that we're boyfriend and girlfriend with someone, it's kind of like, okay, we're exploring this person and seeing if they could be a potential husband, a potential wife. Typically, right? I mean, yes, there are some people who don't want to get married, and that's totally fine. But I feel like in the United States, it's kind of like, okay, we know we're working towards something. Whereas in France, at least this is what I've observed. I feel like when you're boyfriend and girlfriend, it's less about, oh my gosh, this is going to be the person that I could marry. I mean, maybe it could lead into that, but I don't really feel like that's the thought process from the get go. And I say that because I know multiple French people who would say to me, oh, yeah, I had a few boyfriends this year, or oh, yeah, I had multiple boyfriends last year. So I feel like it's more normal for them to go in and out of a relationship versus, oh my gosh, if this person is my boyfriend or if this person is my girlfriend, then it's 1,000% going to be a long-term thing. So I feel like maybe that's why they're quicker to get into a relationship, because it's like, oh, I'm having fun with this person. We're going to explore, but it doesn't mean, oh my God, this is definitely or could be my forever person, I think. Or at least that's what I found. But you know what's so interesting about the African men in Paris? And this is actually something that my hairdresser said to me. My hairdresser was an African woman from the Ivory Coast. She told me that in Paris, she specifically said to me, and I'm not saying that this is what I believe because I don't know. I don't know. But she said to me that in Paris, if you're a Black woman, the white men will treat you better than the African men will. And then she also said to me, but if you do find yourself with an African man, she said something like, oh, if they're from the Ivory Coast or Senegal or another place, they're fine. But she was basically trying to tell me that their mentality is a lot different from what I might think, or from how I guess what I'm used to in the United States, or even what a lot of Parisians are used to. That's what she was saying. I don't know if I have enough experience dating in France to say that's for sure true, but it is something that she said to me. Oh my gosh, thank you. I seem like I'm 23 or 24. Thank you so much. I'll take it. I would love to be 23 or 24 again, so I'll take it. I am not that age, but thank you. And I hope that answers your question about dating in France. I'm definitely open to answering more questions on that if you have them, but that's just been what I've noticed. But I also do think there are some Frenchmen that have this idea of American women that were fast. And that was something that I got a lot when I was in Paris. People just having this, people just thinking that American women are fast, or, and I don't know where they get that from, if it's from TV shows or whatnot, but it was definitely something that was brought up a lot to me when I was living there. Oh my gosh, you've been dating a Congolese man in Paris for 2 years? As in you're still in the relationship, or you did and now you're out of it? Oh my gosh, and Asia, that was a question for you. Thank you. Thank you. So funny about my hair, I recently got it done, and Mercury retrograde, I guess, was on my side because I originally wanted to get, well, I originally wanted to get small boho braids. And then this specific salon told me that they if I were to get small boho braids, the ends would still be straight, not curly, which I usually get my ends curly, and that I'd have to get Bora Bora braids, which I always thought Bora Bora braids were the braids where there's like a lot more left out. But she said that Bora braids are more expensive, but that I could get medium Bora Bora for the same price as the small boho. So I was like, bet, cool, let's do that. And then when I got to the salon, they started working on my hair and they had asked me what style because originally through the system, I think I had booked small boho, but then the lady was going to tell them what I actually wanted. And I was like, oh no, I'm actually getting medium Bora Bora. And they were like, okay, cool. But then I guess they started braiding my hair small. So I ended up getting small. This is my first time having small, and it was really just because of a mix up. So let's see. But thank you. I really like my hair. And I used a different, I actually went to a different braider this time and used different hair for the curly pieces this time. But I think it looks cute. I'm happy with it. Oh, you said dated past tense. Okay, Asia. And oof, yeah, I have an experience. I definitely had quite the experience dating in Paris. I was in a relationship out there for about a year and a half, almost 2 years, which I've been going back and forth between sharing more on that. It was quite the experience, also not a great experience. It was a whirlwind, but at the same time, I learned so much about myself, and I feel like it helped me get a lot stronger in my self-worth and also help open my eyes to the fact that it's more about, do I like this guy versus does he like me? Because I do think when I first started dating in Paris, I just didn't have I don't you know what? I don't wanna say I didn't have self-worth because that's not true. I think it was just I gave him the benefit of the doubt a lot because I was kind of like, "Oh, I don't know if things are just different here in Paris than they are in the States." So I feel like because of that, I was kind of a little bit more lenient than I would have been if I was living here, if that makes sense. So I definitely let a lot of things slide, and there were definitely a lot of red flags that I maybe didn't catch as quickly as I would have here because I was always like, "Oh, maybe they do things differently." But oof, yeah, friend. I Dating abroad is not for dating abroad requires you to have thick skin. It requires you to really own your self-worth and your standards for sure and not let anything slip because they will be trying things. They will try things. I will definitely say that. But oof, friend Asia, I feel you. I feel you. I want to hear more about this Congolese man. I wish you could hop on this live stream with me. That's why I would love to have a radio show or something where people call in because that's something I'd love to chat about. Like, I wish there was a way for you to call in and like share about your story, Asia, if that's something you're open to doing. Ooh, we could do it through Instagram call if that's something you're open to. But I do want to have more I do want to have more streams where it's more conversational where you guys can kind of hop on and share what's going on too. But yeah, dating in Paris, oh my god, I even had a situation I don't even know if you would call it a date, but I kind of went on a date the last time I was in Paris with this guy who was from the French Caribbean, and it was not good. It was not good, and it ended in me blocking him on social media and blocking his phone number too. So, yeah. And hey, friends, for any of you guys who just jumped on, this is That's Real Live. This podcast is all about creating the life you want and not the one you were told to live. And this format today is just ask me anything, any questions are on your mind that are on your heart. Feel free to ask, and I will answer to the best of my ability. Please do not be shy. Usually, I have a topic that I kick off the live stream with, but I've kind of just been flowing, going with the flow. So, didn't really kick off today with a topic or anything, but I'm just kind of going through the chat and answering questions. Hello, hello, all good. And also if you do ask a question, put your name down because sometimes your actual name isn't the same as your handle or whatever you show up as in the chat. And also share where you're from. I'm currently based in Los Angeles. One second. Ooh, someone asked, would you ever write a book? And if so, what about? Ooh, good question. I feel like I could see myself doing that someday. I feel like it would be more in this like personal development realm, just because y'all know that's my jam. I love just figuring out new ways to navigate life. I love life hacks. I love life quotes. It's just something that fuels me and helps me to keep going. So I feel like it'd be in that realm. Do you guys have any ideas? Feel free to share them with me. But I feel like it would definitely be in that realm. And especially because all of the books that I read are in that realm. I've been reading, where did I put it? I've also been reading a lot of books on creativity. I thought I had it on this table, but I was reading a book about how to where is it? It was about kind of like busting through creative blocks, basically, and a lot about how resistance holds us back. I also just finished, well, not just, but I was reading The Artist's Way. Excuse me. The Artist's Way, which I think I talk about on every single live stream, but that's another great one. I'm currently reading Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. The story of how this book even came to me is crazy. But basically, I was in Barnes and Noble looking for Christmas gifts, and my friend and I said we weren't doing gifts this year. We said we were not doing gifts this year. And I happened to see that book, Big Magic, and I thought about getting it. And I was like, oh no, I'm not going to get it. Then my friend comes over and she got me a gift. And it ended up that she had gotten me that book, Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. So I feel like I am meant to read this book. She did gift it to me like 2 years ago, so I'm really behind in reading it. But it's a book that I really want to dive into. Oh my gosh, you're reading The Artist's Way right now? How are you liking it? That book changed my life. And it's a book that I kind of actually want to do again. It just really opens your heart and your mind to what creativity really is. And I do genuinely think that we all are creative in our own ways and that creativity isn't just one thing. Honestly, I think creativity is just how we choose to express ourselves because I feel like that's what makes us all unique. No two people walking on this earth is the same and is the same, are the same, are the same. And I think that as long as we are staying so true to ourselves, that's when I think when we're staying true to ourselves and we are creating from that place, that's when we're unique. That's when we're being disruptive. I don't think being creative means doing what other people are doing and whatnot. I think it just means being so true to yourself. And I feel like that's when you thrive. And it's something that I've been trying to pay attention more to. And I also feel like it comes when you are just finding joy in what it is you're doing. I don't know. I just have a lot of thoughts on creativity. It's so, so good. I think one of the most helpful exercises in the book is when it tells you to write down just everything that brings you joy. Because it's something that I feel like I hadn't really thought about in a while, just what genuinely brings me joy? What is it that I really like to do? Whether it's going to concerts, going to museums, going to church, whatever it is, and build your life around that as much as you can. I think that was really helpful. Yeah, just I highly recommend that book. I really do. And actually, on the subject of creativity, I've really been into different TED Talks on creativity. Like Elizabeth Gilbert actually did one years ago. And she's actually the author of Eat, Pray, Love. I'm sure you guys have heard of Eat, Pray, Love. It was a book. Then they made it into a movie. And she has this really, really interesting TED Talk around creativity and how back in the day, like ancient Rome, ancient Greece, I think it was ancient Rome and ancient Greece, but back in the day, people saw creativity as something that, it's not something that only a human possessed, but there were kind of these spirit guides and these spiritual geniuses who assisted the human in creating. And whenever a person would do something magnificent, do something wonderful in the creative space, or just produce a great creative piece of work, at that time, everyone knew that it wasn't just the person, but it was their creative genius too. So they would say things like, oh, wow, that person must have a really great creative genius if they did a great piece of work. Or if they didn't do a great piece of work, it would be, oh, that person's creative genius isn't so great. So the pressure was really not on the person. It was like the pressure wasn't all on the person to create something wonderful. It was also on their guides and their spiritual beings that were around them to create too. Isn't that so interesting? And that as creativity, I don't know if it's as creativity evolved. I think it's as humanity evolved, the people, the humans wanted to start taking all the credit for their creative works. And that's when narcissism started to become a big thing in creativity. And that's also how I think that's also how people started feeling more pressure and anxiety when it came to the work that they were doing, because they felt like it was all on them to produce some magnificent piece of work. I was like, wow, that is very interesting. And it's like, I do think that being creative is a very spiritual thing. And honestly, in all of the books that I'm reading, they say the same thing, that being creative is very spiritual, and being a creative is you honoring yourself, your worth, what you came here to do, what you bring to the table. And I think it's so interesting too, because right now we're seeing a huge boom in the creator economy, right? And a lot of these creators are people who are just following their passion, what they genuinely are here to do, what they want to do, and are seeing great success in that. And I don't know. I don't know. I could talk about creativity all day, but um let's see. Hi Tiffany, any fun vacations coming up? Yes, I'm actually going to the islands soon. It's more so a family trip, so I'm excited to spend time with the family, but it's always nice to just be in the islands for a bit. And right now, that's the only trip planned for the summer. And you guys know, usually every summer I go to Europe at some point, but this year is the first summer that I'm pretty much staying put in LA. And it's also the first summer or first year so far that I don't have plans to go back to Europe since I moved. I don't know what this means, but yeah, first year. And I actually feel really good about it. I actually haven't really felt the call to be in Paris this summer, but I know I'll probably go at some point just to see friends. Maybe not this year, but maybe in the near future. But yeah. What about you guys? Do you guys have anything fun coming up? Any fun plans? Vacation plans? What are you guys doing this summer? I actually can't believe we're already basically through July. Like, I feel like the summer is going by so quickly, and I have been trying to be outside more, but I don't know. I also feel like I'm in this phase where if I don't really want to do it or really want to go to something, I'm kind of like, I'd rather be home. I'd rather be working on myself or watching a new show. Ooh, I actually just started on Netflix. It's called, what's it called? The Hunting Wives. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. It's called The Hunting Wives on Netflix. I really like it. The premise is this couple just moved to Texas and her husband works for this guy who's trying to become the governor, but it's really clear she's not aligned with his views. And she starts making, and I think she started making friends with the guy who wants to become a governor, his wife. And I don't want to give it all away, but you can tell there's something going on with the wife and her friends. And yeah, I don't know. I probably just did a horrible job at explaining what the show is about, but I just started watching it and I really like it. TCS says, I'm going to Yellowstone National Park, trying to explore more of the US. I've been to Paris 2 years in a row, going again next year. Oh, fun. That's so cool. I do feel like I also need to explore more of the US. I feel like there aren't a lot of states that I've been to in the US. I'm definitely trying to visit my friend in Texas at some point this year. She's been really wanting me to come out there, and it's so funny because my church in LA, the sister church, is in Texas where she lives. So it'll be fun to go out and see her at some point. But yeah, I don't really have a ton of plans this year, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with. I do eventually want to go to Ghana. Wow, we're already 32 minutes in. Yeah, friends, I feel like I'm in this phase of kind of resetting, refiguring things out, getting clear, getting really clear so that I can navigate my life a bit more intentionally. Because I'm not going to lie, I feel like I've just kind of been not chilling, but I don't know. I almost feel like my entire life is getting an upgrade right now, and I'm being called to be really intentional about every single area of my life. Like even when it comes to building community, building friendships here in LA. I'm very single right now, so also being really intentional about dating. For sure. Oh my god, like the craziest thing happened to me not too long ago. LA is just wild. I I'm definitely open to dating, but there hasn't really been anyone here lately that I feel like has been worth dating, if that makes sense. I also do think I need to be out a little bit more and just like meeting people. But my whole thing is, I don't really want to go to the parties and anything like that anymore. Every once in a while, I'll go, but it's just not really my thing. I feel like my thing right now more so is conferences, seminars, workshops. That is totally my vibe. You give me a workshop on creativity, I'm there. You give me a workshop on the creator economy, I'm there. Mm, personal development stuff, I'm there. Just learning something new in this creative space, I'm there. Oh, hold on one second. Yeah, definitely going to more panels and whatnot. I went to LACMA actually over the weekend. A family friend was in town, and that was so fun. Definitely trying to go to more museums. I just feel like I need to be out in the world more and off social. Well, I don't want to say off social media. Sorry, hold on one second. I keep getting messages. I'm not going to say like off social media, because I feel like I have been chronically online, but more so, It's funny. My family friend who was here, and she works in the medical industry, she was telling me that whenever she's feeling stuck on something or like needs to find inspiration, she'll go to a completely different industry than the industry she's looking to create in or looking to find in, like, if she's looking to find inspiration for a medical project, she'll go look in a completely different industry, right? And when she said that, I was like, that's such a good idea, because I feel like I'm always online, I'm always on social media. That for me to be inspired, I need to get off social media and into a different industry just to get my brain going again. So it was actually really cool to go to the museum. They actually have a Black diaspora exhibit up right now that's really cool. I highly recommend. They also have a really cool exhibit around Buddhism right now that was super interesting. And they also have a modern art exhibit that we saw. But it just, I don't know. I think that I get so inspired when I'm looking at works from other people. And actually, my favorite painting from one of the exhibits, how cool is this? It said, hold on, where is it? I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but if you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably saw I took a picture with it. It's that photo. And I just really loved the message behind it. So it said, okay, so that painting was called Self-Generated Magic Organic Self-Generated Magic Organic Freedom. And it said, this is what I thought was interesting. According to the artist Samuel de Saboya, I hope I didn't just butcher his name, the smaller figures represent the creative potential found within one's psyche. Self generated magic, he says, comes from having the knowledge of what's possible and doing something about it. Freedom from a lack of preconceptions. I'm like, AKA being Delulu. No, but really, I totally resonated with that. When you know what's possible and you do something about it and you don't subscribe to the constraints and limitations of what the world is trying to project around you, I was like, wow, that's really cool. So that's why that was my favorite painting. Hey, Christian. Hey. Stay Leisha. Stay Leisha. Stay Leisha. Hey, friend. And thanks for putting the pronunciation of your name in there. And I hope I pronounced it right. She says, hello, Tiffany. Do you think you will leave LA and move somewhere else? Really great question. To be honest, it's like I'm not opposed to moving somewhere else. I'm also not, because I'm at this point, I'm not really having the feeling that LA is the best city on earth. Like, it's fine and I'm enjoying my time here, but I'm not super attached, if that makes sense. At the same time, there isn't really anywhere that I've been attached to. So I feel like right now I'm in this phase of LA is fine, but I'm just not sure if it's my forever place. And I don't know what would make me feel like a city is my forever place. I guess maybe if I were to meet someone, I think that's what it is. I feel like once I meet someone and we decide where we want to raise a family and all of that, that's when a city will become my forever place. Until then, I'm kind of just living life and kind of trying to figure out where I'd want to be. I will say this year, I feel like I've just started to appreciate LA a little bit more. I've been spending a lot more time in nature. I went out with my sister and her wife up to Joshua Tree for my birthday, and that was really fun. I'm trying to get out, hike more, sit on the rooftop, just be in nature a bit more, because for the majority of my life outside of college, I was living in cities and I just didn't really do a lot of the being in nature thing. So I feel like now that I'm living in LA, I can do a lot more of that. So I've been trying to take advantage. I do need to get myself out of the house more because I really just become a homebody where I am just perfectly fine staying in, excuse me, I'm just perfectly fine staying in and watching a show, but I really need to get out more. Excuse me. So I feel like maybe that's it. I feel like in LA, I still don't really know always where to go, but I have been trying to look for more workshops and panels and whatnot. That's kind of my vibe right now. Stylisha. Stylisha. Okay, cool. Thank you for asking my question. I moved back to South Carolina and it's not my forever place. I started following your page a little before you left Paris. Your journey resonates with me. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Well, maybe you're in maybe you're in the phase of discovering what your forever piece is. And I'm kind of thinking maybe I should start at least selling the workbook for my course cuz I have a really great exercise in the workbook where it kind of helps people identify like where they might want to move to. The course was originally based on moving abroad, but I feel like that exercise could help just regardless of where you might want to live, whether it's in the States or abroad. It's actually an exercise that I feel like I need to do again, but it just helps you start to think about things. Like I know one of the prompts was to think about just what is the overall lifestyle that you want. And it's something that I've been thinking about too. Like, do you want to be in a place where you can drive or do you want to be somewhere where you can just hop on the subway? Because that's two very different lifestyles. Now that I live in LA, I've gotten really used to driving. When I first got here, friends, it was a bit of a hot mess. Okay, I hadn't really driven in years because I had always lived in cities where there was a subway. But and oh my god, just the whole car buying experience here was actually insane. Like they really tried to screw me over, but I held my space and I was able to get my car for the price that I felt was fair and appropriate. But wow, the car buying experience here and having to do it pretty much alone. Like my dad did help me, I mean, over the phone because he's not physically here. But just having to go through that by myself was a lot. At the same time, I do like having a car. I do like being able to hop in my car and just being able to get to wherever I need to be. So, yeah. Christian says, "Don't find a man to date where you don't want to continue going. You find a man at if you find a man at a party, chances are parties are probably his thing." That is such a great point, Christian. That is such a great point. You shouldn't be looking for guys in places where, oh my God, 444. We shouldn't be looking for guys where we don't see ourselves really wanting to be. And it's so funny because I was actually at a day, I found myself at a day party, what, about a month ago. And like it was fine and it was nice to be out, but I was kind of looking around and I was just like, this is just not what I'm on right now. I'd rather meet someone at a really cool conference that I went to because I was so interested in the topic. And maybe he's interested in the topic too if he's there. So we kind of have a common ground, right? And we kind of have something to start talking about versus you meet someone. And I'm not saying it's bad if you meet someone at a party at all. Meet people wherever you're meant to meet someone. But I do think it's like when you're at a party, it's a little bit more, oh, you kind of start with the small talk. Maybe that's what it is. I'm so over the small talk, friends. I'm so over it. It's just not my thing right now. I just want to start talking. I just want to start talking about the real stuff. And I feel like if you meet someone at an event that you're interested in, that's just a way to kind of start talking about something that you're interested in versus you meet someone at a party and it's like, oh, how's your weekend? Cool. What do you like to do for fun? I don't know. You know what I mean? at the same time, I feel like those are kind of just the get to know you questions, but I don't know. The small talk is just not my thing. It's just not my thing. It's almost like not uncomfortable, but it's just like, okay. Less time in the virtual world and spending more time in the real world and being physically present. Yes. And I also want to do that more too, because I know, at least from the last year or so when I was living in Paris, when I was living abroad, I mean, because creating was all that I had, I feel like I spent so much time living through a camera that when I moved to LA, I kind of was off social media for a bit just because I really wanted to just live life. But now I feel like I'm in a phase where I'm like, I don't really know what I want to do or where I want to go. But I think what I'm going to start to do, friends, is just make a list of things that look interesting to me in LA and just go to them. Like I recently discovered from TikTok this really cool, I think it was on TikTok, or where was it on Instagram? Let me see. Oh, and everyone follow me on TikTok if you're not already. I'm really trying to ramp up my TikTok presence. I also really just want to have fun with it and start sharing stories and whatnot because I feel like I have a lot of really good stories. But what was I saying? Oh, I have been doing my best to just save things on TikTok. And it's funny because when my family friend was here, I was like, yeah, I've had my car now for what I got it in 20, what are we? I got it in 2023 and it literally only has what 5,000 miles on it and some change. And she was like, Tiff, that's insane. Like you can go wherever you want. You need to just take your car and start going places. Even like San Diego, I think is only like a 2 hour, 3 hour drive from LA. I could go there. There are also some spots in that's what I was going to say. There are some spots in Santa Monica that I've been wanting to check out. Like there's this place that has, is it in Santa Monica? There's this place that does plant-based ice cream, but it uses healthy ingredients, so it's sugar-free. And y'all know that's my jam. So I really want to go out there to Santa Monica. Ooh, this place looks good. I don't know. I'm always trying to look for new restaurants and stuff, though. Hey, friend. Hey, welcome, welcome. Oh my God. The last time you were in LA, you put 1,000 miles on your rental in 9 days. Where did you go, friend? I feel like I'm such a homebody and I really just stay around my area. And this is even with me driving down to Joshua Tree. There's like 5,500 miles, I think, on my car right now. Ooh, Apple Park. What's that? I've never heard of Apple Park. Let me look that up. Apple Park. Oh, that looks pretty. Oh, is it Apple Park like Apple, the company? They have a park? Yeah, that's so cool. And anyone can go? That looks nice. Oh my God, that sounds so fun. Okay, let's see how far it is from me. Apple Park. What? Okay, it says it's like 5 hours away. That's pretty far. I've been wanting to go to the Huntington Gardens or the Huntington Library. I've been wanting to go there too. I've lived in Iceland and Italy, and being in the USA has been challenging. I do desire to live part time in the US and Europe. Have you thought about living part time in Europe? I did for a little bit thinking of I did for a little bit think about living part time in Europe. But then when I went to Paris for 6 weeks last year, I was like, I don't wanna do this again." But at the same time, maybe it's just not Paris, maybe it's a different place. Berlin, I think, is really freaking cool, and I actually have a good friend that lives there. So, I might be open to checking out Berlin, but living part-time in Europe, it hasn't really been top of mind, but I could totally see myself doing it. I just don't know how that would work with unless I don't know. And part of me is like, I'm single right now. I don't have a family, kids, not married. So if I want to live in Europe part time, I feel like now would be the time to test that out. But you know what, friends? Sometimes I feel like I've just gotten a little comfortable. Not to say that I'm lazy, but sometimes just the thought of picking up and having to figure out life over there again, it's just a lot. And I feel like I've kind of liked just the ease of life here. At the same time, Europe is really cool, and I always meet such cool people when I'm there, so I'll never say never, but right now it just hasn't really been top of mind. I think for me, maybe it's just figuring out if there was a place in Europe that I might feel comfortable living in, what would that look like? Because right now, nowhere really pops into mind other than Berlin, and I say Berlin too because the few times that I've been there, it just feels so international. Like, I kid you guys not, people from everywhere are there. I remember when I was working in Paris, I had to fly to Berlin to oversee a video shoot. And we were partnering with Zalando, which is kind of like I wouldn't say it's like Amazon, but it's basically like an online marketplace, if you will, carries a lot of different brands. And I remember when we were talking to their team, like the people on their team came from everywhere. Like there was someone from India, there was someone from Australia. I was American, there was a French person, there was someone from Italy. Like people just came from everywhere. And I don't know about you guys, but I just love being in these international environments because I feel like I just learn so much from other people and their experiences and what they've been through. But then at the same time, I feel like I always notice certain similarities between all of us. And I feel like we're really not that different. I mean, sure, there might be some cultural nuances or like things you might need to adapt to, but at our core, we're all looking for happiness. We're all looking for joy. We're all looking for love. And I think it's just so beautiful when you're in a space where people are coming from all over, but you share the same values. You things resonate the same with you. Like I've always felt that that's just the coolest thing ever. So I do really like being in global international environments for sure. And who knows, maybe it's not splitting my time. Maybe it's just going there a few months out of the year or something. But yeah, Apple Angel Oak in Santa Barbara is the restart. Angel Oak in Santa Barbara. Let's look that place up. Angel Oak in Santa Barbara. Oh, this looks really pretty. Oh, it says it's temporarily closed. Temporarily closed. The Ritz Carlton. I hear that. I wonder what the closest Ritz is to me. I feel like that's a cute place to sit down, look cute, and read a book. The Ritz-Carlton, Los Angeles. Oh, I think there's one pretty close to me. Yeah, well, it's like 40 minutes. It's in Ooh, there's a Fleming. Ooh, there's a Fleming's. I really like Fleming's. Oh, really? I mean, maybe they're just doing, I don't know what they're doing. Why did I just open up? It says Will Smith's 150-acre Calabasas estate is so big that it has its own zip code. That's insane. Wow, his house is pretty big. Oh my God, all I'm thinking about right now are the French fries and chicken wings I made last night. Ooh, they were so good. But oh my gosh, I think I'm actually going to end this at an hour this time. Sorry, friends. I feel like I've been like tilted the whole time. I don't know why. If there's a book underneath here or something. 40 minutes in LA is like 7 miles. I know, right, girl? Oh, I love our little catch ups though. Sorry you're like all up in my closet. As you can see on my bed, I just washed clothes, so all of my clothes are dumped on my bed right now. So that's why it's looking a little janky today, but still wanted to hop on here and kiki with you guys for a bit. I feel like I've been just a tad bit unmotivated with my personal endeavors and stuff. Like even with the podcast, it's like I want to do it and I want to chat, but it's just been so much more fun to get on these live streams versus sit down and record a video for the podcast. You know what I mean? But if there's anything I ever talk about on the live streams that you're like, "Oh, I want you to make an actual like 15-minute video about," let me know because I'm totally down to do it. If there are topics that you guys are really interested in and just kind of want that like quick 15-minute life lesson. But sometimes it's fun to just let things flow into chat and hear what's going on with you guys, you know? Like I just like when things are a bit more interactive, I guess, and not just me sitting down talking to a camera. So, I don't know, live streams are kind of becoming my thing. And that's why I was like, should I do more of them like twice a week? But I feel like right now, once a week has been working for us. So, but friends, any last burning questions before I hop off? Before I hop off and make these fries and chicken wings and don't go to my dancing class, although I feel like I should. I feel like I really should move my body. Just being a little lazy. It's at 6:15. And I didn't go to my workout class on Tuesday, so make a video about life in LA, being in the flow era, what it means to you, and how you're embracing the flow era. Oh, yeah, I could do something like that. What's working and what's not. Okay. Maybe I'll do something like that. Hey, friend. Hey, Valentina. Yeah, I feel like that could be a good video idea. Yeah, I feel like I just need to like get myself together. Cause right now I'm just like What did you miss? Friend, we talked about a lot of stuff. Ooh, we dove into just dating in France versus dating in the United States. There were a few questions about French men and whatnot. People were asking if I'd ever leave LA or if I might want to split my time between the States and Europe, for which I answered, I'm totally not sure. And that I thought I kind of wanted to before my last trip to Paris, but then after that trip, I was like, oh no, I am Gucci here. We talked a little bit about that. A lot of fun stuff. I mean, you'll catch everything in the replay. We talked a little bit about creativity and whatnot. There is another friend on here who's reading The Artist's Way, which you know is my jam, my book. But yeah, today was a fun chat. Thanks, friends, for hopping on and for tuning in. I think I'm gonna end here, trying as much as I can to keep these to an hour if I can, but there was no really like big topic or anything this time. I kind of just wanted to go with the flow and hop on here and chat with you guys. So thanks for tuning in. It's always a joy to chat with you guys. And that's pretty much it. Oh my God, no worries. No worries at all. And I was late on kind of putting it in the community tab that I was even doing one today still. But I will say I'm going to try my best to do these weekly on Thursdays. And if there's a change in the day that I do it, I'll probably put it on the chat or on Instagram or something. But I'm trying my best to stick to this Thursday schedule if I can. So I'm going to try. But thanks, friends, for tuning in. This has been so much fun as always. And I will see you next week. Bye.